Oh, excuse me. What's up, everybody? Still Science. Here with another message. And a weird sound effect at the beginning. Welcome. I want to talk about the fact that people hold things sacredly. Okay? Everybody has something they hold sacred. And we have to understand that everybody else is sacred don't have to be the same as our sacred. Okay? We don't have to match nobody. We don't gotta make nobody match us. You know, we just gotta recognize the match when we see the match. That's the bigger focus. A lot of times we'll mismatch. We'll miss the match because we're focused on matching a mismatch. When you focus on matching a mismatch, you miss the match that's matching for you already. You know? And there's a lot of situations that applies to. I really want to drop universal information. I don't want to drop something that's really specific, okay? It's this. The fact that, you know, say you and somebody else are trying to collaborate on a project. Y'all are going to find different parts of that project more or less important. Now, you can bicker over those problems. You can try to wrestle the narrative or wrestle the priority, you know what I mean? Or you can respect the individual and say, okay, you're on this, I'm on that. So the best thing we could do for a win-win, for a gain-gain, you know, not a lose-lose. We both want to gain. We both want to win. We both want to accelerate. So the best way to do that, we have to supplement each other's shortcomings because our strengths are shortcomings. Let me say it again. Our strengths are shortcomings. Everything that is extreme leaves room for imbalance elsewhere. So where you have one person who can think about a lot of things at once, you have another person that can think about one thing really, really hard at once. So they can bicker over who's gonna multitask and who's gonna hone in. Or they can look at the tasks they both have to fulfill and split them amongst each other based on their strengths. Instead of competing over who's stronger or whose strength is the better strength. Because we're all weak. That's something that's hard to admit. It's hard to admit that we're all weak. It's hard to admit that we ain't shit sometimes. It's hard to admit that. It's hard to admit your own toxic traits. It's hard to admit your own, you know, mistakes. It's hard to, but the moment you do, you become so free of trying to hide from them. When you embrace your own shortcoming, when you embrace, okay, you know what, I'm not that good at math. Okay, I want to be, I'm improving, I'm learning, but if it's a immediate situation, it's an urgent situation that needs a math head, I'm gonna grab my friend right here, Mr. Math Head right here. I'm gonna put him on the math stuff. Now, when some reading comes in, where his brain gets frazzled, because he's good with all the number symbols, but all the letter symbols and bunching them together and making words and all that messes up with his brain. So I'm gonna jump in, read this passage to him, let him do the, you know, and then it's a team. We just broke down the need, the meaning, and the dynamic of a team. Because we all are weak. We all are strong, but we all are weak. And, you know, in terms of acceptance of that, that's respect for yourself, and that's respect for everyone else. When you accept both sides of the cookie, okay, the flat side and the side that was, you know, pretty. When you accept both sides of the cookie is different, because when you deal with people, you can deal with them honestly. You don't have to. You're not covering up your insecurities, not covering up your shortcomings. You're all out. Hey man, I'm awkward. Don't have me talking in front of all these people. People are like, all right man, cool. Hey man, that's my awkward homie. Put him over there. I'm gonna go talk to these people. You know, and he gonna be over here dealing with this task that I don't want to deal with because ain't no people involved. I love talking to people. You know what I mean? So it's like everybody's different. And I'm right now the example. I'm not even describing myself. This is just examples of dynamics. You know, and we have that's the best way to establish harmony. Whether that, like, and that's with anything, with people, with anything, is to understand the dynamic of everything involved. Understand how everything's gonna relate to everything else. Therefore, you can place it in a position to be close to things that won't destroy it. That's basically what we're doing. We're trying to keep each other from being destroyed. Some people are more brittle in certain environments. Some people have, you know what I mean, the minute you put them in the water, they drown. So you keep them on land. You got some people, the minute you put them on land, they start flapping and flipping, and their gills get all sandy. You put them in the water. You know, everybody has their own use. And when you can respect them for their own use, you can end up actually using them instead of misusing them. The people only complain about being misused. People don't complain about being used. People don't complain about, you know, being able to fulfill their function for somebody and like having that reciprocated and stuff like that. People have issues and conflicts when somebody else tries to make them function against their own nature and function against their own person. That's the only time you get resistance. You know, it's like, I want this result, but I want this person to be the cause. You know, I want this effect, but I'm gonna take this person and manipulate their behavior until they bring me that effect instead of going and get that effect for myself. That's a big dynamic that is causing conflict in this world amongst people. Is everybody wants everybody else to be on the same thing that they're on, instead of just saying, okay, well, if you on that, you be that over there, I'm gonna be that over here, and we can create a balanced ecosystem that way. You know, everybody wants to mash everything together and make everybody match. You know, and that's not the way. That's not the way. That's people right now that are listening and agreeing and turn around and do the same thing. I know I'm going to, you know. I know I'm going to. We're all human. I know after this video there's gonna be an example of me doing the exact thing I just said. You know? And I'm cool with that. And when that and if that moment comes, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna say, whoa, wait a minute. I'm doing that thing again. Let me chill. Let me abandon ship right quick. You know? And that's what I mean by when you know your own shortcomings, when you know your own you know, negative tendencies, you can reel them in right that much faster as soon as you see them happen. Like, oh, hey, that's me. Well, I got you. You know what I mean? Like when your pet or your kid run off in public or something, you did that. Oh, that's mine. Sorry. So that's it though. I'm gonna stop talking everybody's head off, but just focus on the good parts, man. Focus on the parts you're making better, and not the parts that's still worse. You know, because they're gonna be worse until you make them better. So keep making stuff better. And the more you make better, the better the better grows. The more better. The better you go, the more better you grow. But all right, y'all. Till sons, I'm leaving.